Hey everybody, this is GGB, co-host Poppers, and today we're going to get back into the third quarter of the American Mountain West game. Let's be honest here, this is not the greatest game. It's still a 4-possession game. The American Steelers still have time to come back. We still have 2 quarters. I mean, the Mountain West Saints scored 30 points in 2 quarters. Why can't the American Steelers, It's not a likely possibility, but it can still happen. But since we're watching this video, I was wondering if you guys had any tips on how to handle this of coming onto a situation. So I was wondering how you guys think I should react to injuries in this tournament, because, these are just exhibition games. So it's going to be difficult to figure out what to do with injuries, because it will not tell me how significant the injury is and how long they'll be out for. So I was thinking maybe just do a game. The next game they're not going to play in. I haven't gotten a significant injury like that yet playing the tournament, but it's interesting to think about. So, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. So, let's watch this game. Case Keenum snaps the ball, hands it to Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack picks up a nice 9-yard carry. That's the key if the American Steelers want to win this game, is they got to keep running it with Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack is probably the best player on that offense. I don't know about that. Actually, Emmanuel Sanders and Robbie Anderson are both really good. The problem is they can't get to him because Case Keenum is that garbage. Anyways, if they don't win this game, UConn players will never be on the team. So they go play action here. He throws it short to Marlon Mack, which I'm fine with. If you can get the ball to Marlon Mack as much as humanly possible, that would be the ideal scenario if they want to win this game. So let's just continue talking. So if you guys have any suggestions about that injury thing, let me know. Also, I'm thinking about the drafts coming up, so if you have any suggestions on how you want me to handle this, I'm planning on doing 1 episode a day of this tournament, and obviously a quarter a day. Okay, Marlon Mack runs the ball, picks up a nice 4 yards on that carry. But if you have any suggestions, here's what I'm thinking of planning. Like, I'm doing a video every day, but I'm gonna plan on live streaming the NFL draft. So if you guys want to check in on that on the NFL draft day, I'm going to be doing some analysis. I really am looking forward to the NFL draft since sports is all screwed up. Case Keenum, he's going to get sacked, obviously, because they're just bad, because the American Steelers are bad. And Americans are actually building up a pretty good team, if we're going to be honest here. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do a live stream of the NFL draft, so that'll be a day that this won't be on, if you guys just want to check into that. And I plan on, NFL schedules will come out in a few weeks. I plan on doing maybe a video on that. Let me know in the comment section below if you think that's a good idea or not. So anyways, let's go back to the game. Case Keenum looks like he's going to pass on this play, 3rd and 13. Let's see if he can pick it up. He throws it deep. What a catch by Robbie Anderson. Maybe they won't lose this game after all. It was a great catch. His first catch. That's a bad thing. You got to get Robbie Anderson more involved in this game. He is one of the strongest players on your team. You can't just let him sit idle and just let the game slip by without getting him the ball. You got to force him the ball. Look at this catch. Just went straight up over that guy. Which is why American Steelers can be a threat next year. Robbie Anderson's still going to be a very good receiver next year. Hopefully, Travis Kelce, even though you haven't seen him much in this game, he's still an amazing receiver. If they could just get a good quarterback to get the ball to these guys, that would be ideal. Anyways, Case Keenum takes a step back. Oh, fires to Kelce. Speak of the devil. Anyways, that's what I think is necessary for this team to take it to the next level. They're still a very good. They're not that good, but they can compete for the championship next year if they just continue to keep the players and keep them as good as they can. Because Marlon Mack's not a bad running back. He's actually a really good running back. See, as that run shows you. Anyways, I think Marlon Mack's very good. Emmanuel Sanders is a very good threat still, and include Robbie Anderson. He's very good still. Cole Beasley's an amazing slot guy. Kelce, still a great tight end. So if they could just get the ball, a guy to throw the ball around, then we'll be seeing a little bit more of the American Steelers, especially since they have never won a game here in the playoffs. Especially if they lose this game, they'll never won a game in the tournament. Even the playing game they lost. The Mountain West will go 1-1 in the playoffs. Actually, 2-1 in the playoffs. They've never made it past the divisional round. They lost to the Big Ten last year, the eventual champions. They have a very close game. Let's see. Run up the middle. They don't get all of it, but they get a good amount. Makes it a 3rd and 3. Let's see if they can get a touchdown or a first down on this play. It's a very big possession for them because then they can cut it to a 23-point lead, which, if you don't know, is a 3-possession game. It's very important to get a touchdown on this possession. They go handoff, up the middle. Latavius Murray, I think. Yeah, Latavius Murray. It was a good run. Just got to keep this drive going. But it's been 5 minutes already on this drive. You can't have it go on this long. You gotta make up. Actually, never mind. As long as you just keep scoring points every possession and you don't let them score touchdowns or get any points, then it's really, let me see, 15, a 4-possession game right now. So if you get a touchdown here, makes it a 3-possession game. You're going to have 4 possessions in this half. So, I mean, as long as you just keep scoring. So, go handoff Marlon Mack, and that's pretty much stuff to get a gain of a yard. Actually, never mind. That was Latavius Murray. That's my bad. Bobby Wagner is a legit legend. I mean, he's why the Mountain West might be very good for years to come. They're building up a defense around them. They have a very good linebacker core, and they're going to have a very good rusher and DeMarcus Lawrence. Problem is, if you could build a defensive line around him and a secondary, then you're going to have a very good team from now on. And that was they lose yardage on that pass. Tackled by Tyrone Crawford. Tyrone Crawford's also very good. He could be a big part of this defense for a while to come now. Saints, man, they showed out here in Heinz Field. I mean, look at all those Saints jerseys. They're throughout the entire stadium, really. Home field advantage is not treating the Steelers well. The American Steelers. And it turns out that playing game really hurt them. They barely lost it to the Independent Chiefs. And who knows, they could beat the MAC Ravens. Oh, that was huge. You got to hold on to that, Kelsey. That makes it a 3-possession game. Instead, now you're going to settle for the field goal. Yeah, that's still a 3-possession game, but it's not as close of a 3-possession game, that's for sure. I don't understand that animation, if I'm going to be honest here. He caught that. Like, in real life, he'd never be like, I'm just going to throw it while trying to catch it. Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, the American Steelers defense actually has some good keys in place. Like, Ioannidis, very good. And you're going to have Ed Oliver. He's going to be hopefully turned into a great player for them. Prater's a very good kicker. So let's see if he's going to make it. Probably he's going to make it. Oh. Bortles, you're a failure. Oh, my God. They're going to take it for a touchdown. Well, that's disappointing for any American fans out there. Think you're going to be able to make a comeback, and then your team just kind of dies. Just kind of throws the game away right there. Mountain West Saints. Although, if you're a Mountain West fan, you got to be excited for the divisional rounds if your team ends up not blowing this hugely. Like, look at that. Great block by number 35. You just got to hope that your secondary is going to be able to withhold the number 1 overall seed. Or they could get anywhere from probably... Okay, so you could say probably the 1 seed or the 4 seed or the 2 seed or the 3 seed. You can get any of them since this is the first game. But realistically, they'll be playing the 1 seed next week or the 2 seed. Because right now, they're sitting at the number 9 overall seed in the tournament. If the MAC beats the Independent Chiefs, they'll be playing the Big Ten Titans. If they don't, the Independent Chiefs win, they'll be playing the SEC Browns. They'll there could be some exciting things happen in this tournament, although it's not likely. Conference USA has the ability to upset the Big 12 Niners. Conference USA Cowboys, Big 12 49ers. So it's going to be interesting. There's definitely a chance for an upset there in the Big 12, although it's not very likely, but Nick Mullins can throw the ball, and then they still have that Aaron Jones guy. He can run the ball very well. And then backing him up, Devin Singletary, who we saw this year, is a very good running back. I had to pause it here. I think it's because the remote controller died. I just had to restart it real quick. Case Keenum's coming back out on the field. He's like, got you, coach. 37-point deficit. Do it in my sleep. And the coach knows he's lying. Mike Tomlin's going to suffer another loss in the playoffs at home field. Last time he made the playoffs in home field, lost to the Jaguars in real life, which, I mean, you got to be thinking, next NFL season, which I know I'm not supposed to be talking about this in the tournament, but let's be real, it's not that great to watch. I enjoy it just because it's my creation, but let's get some NFL talk here. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, actually, though. And Mike Tomlin actually coached phenomenally this year, and he had one of the best head coaching years, I think, of his career. He almost took the Steelers to the playoffs with Big Ben hurt, which is it'd be like the Saints taking the Saints. Sean Payton taking the Saints to what a throw. That was actually a phenomenal throw by Case Keenum. I think that was Kelsey. Was it Kelsey? Yeah, it was Kelsey. But it'd be like Sean Payton taking them to the playoffs with no Drew Brees, or the Patriots going to the playoffs with no Tom Brady. But there is no Teddy Bridgewater or Taysom Hill in New Orleans. We're talking about Mason Rudolph and Devlin Duck Hodges. Yeah, I went nowhere. Actually, he got a yard. I'm sorry, Case Keenum. You picked up a yard. Anyways, Steelers are very good. And honestly, I think I'm going to pick them to make the playoffs in my annual playoff prediction video. And I'm going to look like a fool, obviously, because I looked like a fool last year when I picked the Jets to make the playoffs. Who else did I pick to make the playoffs? That ended up looking bad on me. I honestly don't know. I think I actually picked the Eagles to win the NFC East. I picked the Saints to win the NFC South. I actually did not pick the Packers to win the NFC North. I don't think. I think I picked the Bears again, or the Vikings. I don't remember which one I picked. And it's the NFC West. I think I did pick the Seahawks, which wasn't that far off. AFC, I knew I picked the Patriots, and I picked the North. I think I picked the Ravens and the Texans and the Chiefs. I think I actually got the AFC perfect. But wild card wise, I picked the Jets last year. That was a foolish mistake. I don't remember what I picked wild card wise other than that. That was a mistake, though. So anyways, I think the Steelers are actually going to be a pick for me next year. I actually think the Steelers are going to be very good with Big Ben back again. I don't think they're going to win the division because, man, Thomas Morstead's having a bad game punting the ball. But Derek Carr's having a phenomenal game so far. I mean, all you can hope if you're a Mountain West fan is if they don't somehow crumble, which I don't think they're going to. They make the divisionals. You gotta have a good game passing because, as it's shown, the weakness of this team is running the football. And they're gonna have weapons. Devontae Adams has looked phenomenal in this game. You have Hollister. Hollister's turned out big for him. So they hand it off to I think it was Jay Ajayi. He got a big run. Anyways, Hollister's turned out big for you this game, so he could be a big impact player. And then Gallup is looking good, and Rashard Higgins has had a somewhat good game. So if you just keep that going, really, I mean, Josh Oliver is a sneaky good talent who could be a big impact player next year for you, but really not this year. I think you can just get by with Hollister. That was Hollister. Hollister's a very good tight end in this tournament. He has really showed out for Derek Carr. And if you end up playing the SEC, they have a good team put together last year, and they're hurting because last year they did not make it out of the divisional round, even after getting a week 1 bye and had the Big 12 beat them. Big 12 would eventually be the runner. Oh, that was a nice move by Rashad Penny. But they didn't get out of the the divisional round. They're actually completely defeated in the playoffs. They have never won a game in the tournament. So, they're going to be itching to get a W. But you got to be hoping the SEC. But the problem about the SEC, if you're Derek Carr, is the fact that they have lockdown corners. And more likely than not, Devontae Adams is going to be locked up by Stephon Gilmore. A 98 overall corner. Devontae Adams is going to have a very hard time getting open. So, I'm going to have to learn how to go to your secondary guys. Hollister is probably going to be a big target for him. He got to be able to go to Gallup and Higgins in times of trouble, and even get your running backs involved. If you can get Penny and see, look, Hollister's a big part of this game, and you got to get him involved in the next level. He is just going to be such a big target for you. It is 300. Actually, that was Derek Carr. Never mind. But Hollister has a touchdown in this game already. Devontae Adams has had a big game, but he's not gotten a touchdown yet. That's Rashard Higgins has 2, Hollister has 1, and Josh Oliver has 1 as well. Michael Gallup again doesn't have 1. Let's see if they can score another touchdown on this drive. The juking him up, J.H.I.E. Let's see. The offensive line, again, that's going to be an issue, at least at the next level. I mean, I think Paradis is great. Paradis is a great center. And let me think, who else? I'm thinking, what's his name? I got to say, Joel Bitonio, also great left guard. And those are your 2 solid points of your offensive line, but I'm scared tackle-wise for you guys. Donald Penn is not solid, and you're going to be going against pass rushers, like if they play the SEC. But look at the Big Ten as well. SEC, you got Von Miller, and you have Danielle Hunter, and you have Fletcher Cox. That's just going to be scary for you guys. But also in the Big Ten, you still have J.J. Watt and Joey Bosa. So it's going to be very difficult either way you end up playing it. ACC's not great either, but it's better. And I doubt they're going to end up playing the Pac-12, but they really only have 1 pass rusher, and that's Cameron Jordan there. Although they do have an amazing offense with Christian McCaffrey and Aaron Rodgers and Keenan Allen. So they can definitely pass the ball and run the ball, but your defense is suspect. Let's see if the Saints can punch it in this end zone. But the Saints, in real life, though, you got to be thinking they're a threat in the playoffs next year. Drew Brees just got signed to another contract. Alvin Kamara is coming back. Michael Thomas is coming back. They added Emmanuel Sanders. Their entire offensive line's coming back. Tight end-wise, Jared Cook's still there. It was a nice route by Devontae Adams. I think it was 8 catches for 146 yards so far. He has about half of the receiving yards for Derek Carr and the team. Anyways, Saints are a real threat next year. And look at the defense, too. It's not bad. Defensive line, Cameron Jordan, and I don't know what in the world Case Keenum was looking for there, but he decided the cameraman decided that was an amazing shot to get. But the Saints are very much a threat next year to even win the Super Bowl, I gotta say. The defense is very good. Cameron Jordan will be back. Sheldon Rankins, even though he's an underrated part of that defense. That was a nice sack by Tahir Whitehead. Getting up off the ground, getting Derek Carr to the ground. They're probably not going to win, but you need definitely some confidence heading into the next year. Tahir Whitehead, looks like a good outside linebacker for him. And then outside the linebacker core, gotta say, it's not the strongest of this team. I gotta say, the defensive line's good. I think it's going to be very good for years to come. The secondary is very, very solid. A.J. Boye is a solid corner, and Clayton Geathers is a good safety. So it's just going to be interesting to see how this team progresses and eventually gets better throughout, I guess, the year. Oh, nice throw. Touchdown to none other than Mr. Rashard Higgins. Cyrus receiving touchdown for him. So, good for Rashard Higgins. He's going to need to be a big factor in this divisional game heading up. So, it's all about getting your guys on fire and on point to head into the next game. At this point, you know you're probably going to win. And for the Steelers, you just got to have confidence heading into that next year. And a big part of them winning is their defense needs to step it up. You can't let a team score 44 points on you. It's just, you can't let that happen, especially if you're a defense-oriented team. You don't have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. You don't have Tyreek Hill at receiver. You have Case Keenum at quarterback and Emmanuel Sanders at receiver. It's just not the same. But going back to the Saints in real life, Sheldon Rankins will be back. Shy Tuttle performed well for the Saints last year, and Marcus Davenport should take a step up in this next year. Now, linebacker core Demario Davis was very good, and Alex Anzalone should be coming back from that injury, and A.J. Klein is going to be leaving the Saints, unfortunately. As a Saints fan, I love A.J. Klein. He's going to the Bills. But they still had that trade that they got. Dolphins linebacker, Kiko Alonso. And he's a very good linebacker. So maybe they'll put him in outside linebacker and we can get him more involved. But that's what I'm hoping for as a Saints fan. Anyways, 33 more seconds in the third quarter for Case Keenum. Let's see if he can put some points up on the board. You don't want to be shut out. But this is a very promising sign for the Mountain West team. The Mountain West defense has looked very good so far. Maybe they can go on and make an upset and shocking in the tournament. Maybe they can make a run all the way to the Super Bowl. It's going to be very difficult, though. The top 4 teams are very, very good, and they all have very, very good quarterbacks. And you have Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford. You still have teams in the tournament with quarterbacks like Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy G, Patrick Mahomes for the Big 12. And then even smaller conferences like Taysom Hill can still be a threat, and he's still a very good quarterback in this game. And then you have Ben Roethlisberger, if he can move on. Anyways, this is GGB and co-host Pupper saying adios amigos. See you next time.